Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and I hope that everybody's having a wonderful day. It's 8:27 p.m. here, but and I don't know what time you guys are watching this, but prepare to be kind of sick to your stomach because I didn't really want to do this video, but to talk about the Khmer Rouge, and the reason why I'm doing it, the reason why I'm talking about the Khmer Rouge is the fact that I want to educate myself on this topic, at the fact that this is my not my culture, but this is my bloodline. And the Khmer Rouge was a part of us. The Khmer Khan was a part of us. And whether I like it or not, my family on my dad's side, we're Khmer Khan, and it's something that I have to deal with. It's something that I have to like educate myself and learn these things. And a lot of the first generation immigrant Cambodians here in the United States of America, they're not aware of this. I'm even talking about Cambodians in Canada, Cambodians in Australia, because when we fled, when the Cambodians fled the Khmer Rouge regime, they went all over the place. A majority of them, the refugees, came to the United States of America. But it baffles me because of the fact that, look, in the United States of America, you could be anything you want to be. You could be a Republican, you could be a Democrat, you could be anything you want. But it baffles my brain when I see Cambodians, supporting socialist ideas. Now, there's nothing wrong with healthcare. There's nothing wrong with a good education. There's nothing wrong with any of that. But the problem that I have is that none of them know who Pol Pot was. When they think about Pol Pot, they think about he was like a right wing, you know, fascist like Benito Mussolini and Hitler, which is true to a certain extent, but they were communists at the same time. So it was similar to Stalin and similar to what you see in Cuba at the moment, or North Korea. I'm sorry, even Mao. I mean, Pol Pot was influenced a lot with Marxist Leninism and Maoism, and he took Mao's idea a little bit too fucking far. So, and that's what you see. But a lot of the first generation Cambodians, like myself, were not educated about Pol Pot and stuff because our parents did not want to talk about it because of the fact that, post traumatic stress disorder, depression, and stuff like that. Not many Cambodians trust themselves. But the topic that I'm going to be talking about today is the cannibalism under the Khmer Rouge, under the Khmer Rouge. Um, so yeah, it's gonna be kind of disgusting in a way. So I hope you guys are prepared to learn about this. Now, cannibalism, it's not just a Khmer Rouge thing, but the reason why I want to talk about it because I heard rumors about it. The first time that I heard about it was when my mom was talking about it, and you have to remember, guys, my mom did not want to even tell us any of this, but she said, "Hey, you know, um, there was cannibalism that happened under the Khmer Rouge that you should be aware of." And she talked about, share a story about my dad um, committing these acts. So it's like I said, it's something that it's the other side, the monster that is within myself that that I'm talking about this day, and I really want to share with you guys what happened. And cannibalism had happened under in Holodomor, under Stalin. It happened in Mao's China, under Mao Zedong's China. There was cannibalism, and I do talk about it in detail in my podcast episode where I break everything down. I forgot what episode it is, but I talk about the American culture, the American Culture Revolution. I forgot what episode it is, but you can go check it out on my podcast, and I do have it. I think it's like episode 50 something. I don't remember, but I broke into detail about cannibalism happening under Mao's China. So I'm gonna there's a couple articles you can look it up. Just put Khmer Rouge cannibalism, and it pretty much breaks everything down for you guys. But this is from, yeah, I'm already feeling sick to my stomach just even looking at Nunchia. But anyways, this is from Al Arabiya, News, and, 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 So this is a picture from the tribunal. So an ethnic Muslim former prisoner of the Khmer Rouge regime today told a court. So that this article is in. I don't see when the article was written, but it's back into. Oh yeah, there it is. This was published in 2016. So this one, they're all found guilty. So, or not all, majority of them die a peaceful death. So, an ethnic Muslim former prisoner of the Khmer Rouge regime told a court that he was forced to witness the execution of a woman whose liver was then removed and cooked in front of him. Oh dear. Okay. Mio Pugh gave the heroin testimony at the genocide hearing of brother number two, Nunchia, 89, and the former head of the state, Khion Simpan, 84. So Nunchia, I believe he died already in prison. The trial of the top regime leaders focused on the genocide of ethnic Vietnamese and Muslim minorities, including the Cham. So the Cambodian genocide was challenged, and then they proved that crimes against humanity, including the Cambodian genocide, because of the fact that they targeted Vietnamese and Muslim minorities in the country. Nguyen Phu openly wept as he described how he was just a boy when he was detained in Western Pursat province, accused of betraying the hardline communist cadres by stealing rice. At the detention camp, he witnessed a woman being killed, he said, giving the court graphic details of her brutal murder. She was asked to take off her clothes, and her body was cut open. There was blood everywhere. Her liver was taken out and was cooked for a meal. Oh dear God. Yeah. This is what I'm talking about. Even me reading it. I was reading it last night doing research, and I didn't want to do it. He recounted through a court translator. So, but up to 2 million Cambodians died under the Khmer Rouge rule from 1975 1979, including an estimated 100,000 to 500,000 Cham Muslims and 20,000 Vietnamese. Until this trial, the treatment of the two minority groups has rarely been discussed. Mule Pu said he lost 17 relatives during the murderous rule of the hardline regime, including his father, who starved to death after he refused to eat pork. So Muslim doesn't eat pork. I had to force myself to eat pork so I could survive, Nguyen Phu said, adding Muslims were often forcibly dispersed from their villages. Nguyen Chia and Khian Sampan have already been handed life sentences in a previous trial that focuses on the regime forced evacuation of Phnom Penh into rural labor camps and murders at execution site. Cannibalism by the Khmer Rouge soldiers has previously been described by other witnesses who testified at the court, including cadres eating the gallbladders of executed prisoners after drying them in the sun. While cannibalism was not widespread, the regime's leadership encouraged a searing hatred among its foot soldiers and of those seen to be class enemies that led at times to be particularly sadistic violence. So, it does go a little bit further, and there's an article from abc.net.au. So at court, here's Khmer Rouge soldiers slit prisoner's throat and ate organs as Nunchia and Kin Simpan genocide trials resume. So if you guys don't know who the tribunal is pretty much the extraordinary chambers in the courts of Cambodia. The ECCC, it's a special Cambodian court which pretty much saw the Khmer Rouge, the top Khmer Rouge trial. So, but anyways, so a witness has told Cambodian backed court that the Khmer Rouge soldiers. So this is another story. This is another testimony. Slit prisoners' throat and ate their gallbladders during the 1970s as the genocide trial of two most senior survivor leaders resumed. So let me see. Let me try to find the part where. Let me see. Find the part. Who is testifying, because the first one was Nguyen Phu. Okay, the prosecution first witness was Soka. So this is another witness. Told the court that he saw. I'm right here. Told the court that he saw Khmer Rouge soldiers kill hundreds of inmates at King Ran Ta Chan prison in Takeo province, around 80 kilometers south of Phnom Penh, where he was detained along with 11 other family members. While I was tending cows and buffaloes, I could see how prisoners were killed, the 55-year-old said. Most of them had their throats slit. Two Khmer guards would hold prisoners tight, and another would slit the throat of the prisoner, he said, adding that the Khmer Rouge play music through a loudspeaker to hide the sounds of killing. So can you imagine, like, they're getting killed, getting executed, getting their throat slit, begging for mercy, and music is just fucking blaring in the background to hide their scream. And oh god, I can't even imagine, because I heard stories of generators running, and it's just god. But anyways, organs dried in the sun. He told the court, what's his name, Mies Soka. Mies Soka told the court that at least 20 prisoners were killed per day after a week of starvation at the prison where he was held for more than 2 years from 1976. His father and younger siblings also died at the jail. The witness added that the soldiers killed small children by throwing them against a tree before dropping their bodies into the mass graves at the prison. He told the court that the Khmer cadres would eat the gallbladders of the executed prisoners after drying them in the sun. Whenever there was a killing, the guards would drink wine together with gallbladders, Mies Soka said. I knew these gallbladders were from the humans. There were many gallbladders dried in the sun near the fence. Scenes from the cannibalism committed by the Khmer soldiers have previously been described by other witnesses at the tribunal during the leader's first trial, including cadres eating the livers of murdered inmates. So, it goes even more further, and the Khmer Times even talk about it as well. So this is another one. Murang Chandy, a 6-year-old from Takeo province native, described her life in Ung Kunseng Security Center in Ratanakaki. I can't see that. Ratanakikiri province after being brought there in June of 1977. So this is her testimony. In a hearing testimony yesterday at the Khmer Rouge, the Khmer Tribunal, a witness described a hearing about the guards at the Unkan Singh Security Center in Ratanakiri, I think I pronounced that name correctly, province, disemboweling a sick and dying prisoner there so the Khmer security officials could eat her gallbladder. Answering questions for case 00202, Murang Chandy, a 62-year-old Takeo province native, described her life in Ulan after being brought there in June of 1977. She spent the first 2 years of the Khmer Rouge regime takeover working on a rubber plantation near Bang Long town. Along with 3 other women, she was arranged to marry a man in the village. She ended up with Pon Tol, who also testified at the court yesterday. The two have since divorced. And arranged marriages was common as well. She was unsure why she and her husband were brought to the prison, but testimony from other witnesses and research into the Khmer leadership found that Nun Chia, Ling Seri, and Sun Sen, 3 of the most senior officials within the Khmer at the time, had ordered all workers at Miss Chandy's rubber plantation to be arrested and brought to the prison in June of that year, out of fear that a revolt was fomenting. Detainees estimate that 400 to 600 prisoners were held there at its peak. I didn't know what I did. One day, a village committee meeting, the village chief said, Thumb, who was running all of the Ratanakiri, ordered me. They put me in a truck after, she said. 3 pairs of men and women joined her and her husband on the drive to the prison, which was about an hour or 2 away, according to Miss Chandy's testimony. Once I got off the truck, I knew I was being taken to a prison. The location was isolated, and I saw people locked inside, she told the court. When I arrived in the area, I realized that I would die. I did not know why I was sent there, but I thought that would be the end of my life. It was only after arriving at the prison that she realized she was pregnant. In early 1978, with only a single medic and her cellmate to help her, she gave birth to a baby girl. Once she regained her strength, she was assigned to work in the kitchen to cook for rice for the prison guards. Wow. I had to stop there for a second because the fact that after giving birth to my baby boy in 2015, I was exhausted, and I had top-notch medical care after giving birth to my baby boy, and for her to be in a situation where she gave birth to her baby boy in a condition like that, and to get back up to cook and clean for the Khmer guards is just, could you guys put yourself in that situation and think about that? Especially women. If you guys are women, in the comments, and comment down below how you would feel being in that situation. You know what I mean? So I had no breast milk, so I had to feed my child palm juice. The situation was miserable. So yeah, that's really, and the reason why I had to stop and think about this for a second, because I'm a mother myself, and when you have a little baby that's dependent on you for protection, and that you are around, that's like giving birth around in the wild with these fucking animals all around you, but humans, you know what I mean? So it's really scary. It's really scary. So Miss Chandy was eventually moved from a locked cell to an unlocked room with a guard on the outside. She described a number of atrocities committed at the prison, some of which she said she saw firsthand. Groups of 10 to 20 Jarai people from the village alongside the Vietnamese border was detained at the prison during her time there. She said the women were put in her facility and tied together by a single rope. After 10 days, the prison guards told them that they would be sent back to their village. Some of the women had small children with them, half who could not walk without their mothers. Every time I anything but babies or little kids, I can't. How evil can you fucking be to, little babies that can't even walk? I mean, it just gets to me. So 3 days after watching this from her prison cell, she said she was picking vegetables in a garden when she saw a pit created by a bomb drop from B-52 airplane. In the pit, she could see the bodies of people wearing the same clothes as the Jarai who were detained at her facility. I smelled the decomposing bodies. I could tell they were Jarai from their clothing. I was talking to myself, asking if I would also share the same faith. She said, the pits were eventually covered, and the clothes of the Jarai were distributed to other prisoners in my building. The leader of the prison guard, Ta Uk, stuck out in her memory as particularly cruel and vengeful. She witnessed him murder a young woman and had to hold back tears as she described the scene. I saw him walking a woman to a field as I was picking vegetables. She was begging for him for life. But he hit her with the butt of his rifle. Miss Chandy told the tribunal, I did not know her or where she was from, but I remember her begging for her life as he smashed a hoe on her repeatedly. Ta Ui was well known around the prison for his depravity, and especially by the kitchen staff. The witness said, Miss Chandy said it was widely rumored around the facility that the prison guards had removed the gallbladder from a dying prisoner and ate it. The kitchen was along the road I used to walk. One person was so cruel and brutal, he used a bamboo stick from the wall to cut open bodies and remove the gallbladder. These people were dying, she said. Every time Toi Oi left the kitchen, he said that he ate human gallbladders. So, yeah, that's really fucking disgusting. And I look, I didn't really want to talk about this, like I said earlier, and every time that this happened, just like I said earlier, that even though it was not widespread, the Khmer did commit cannibalism. And even the Lon Nol, if you guys don't know who Lon Nol is, it was the opposition. It was the CIA-backed coup that happened, and they were trying to remove King Sihanouk from power. Even his soldiers commit cannibalism as well. But I wanted to talk about this particular, about my mom doing this, because the fact that it was denied. I didn't believe it. I was like, no way. But it happened. And they consume their victims. And that's really disturbing. And historians, let me go to this article right here, where it says historians has offered different reasons for cannibalism, from the general climate of excessive regime violence to superstitious beliefs about acquiring an enemy's power through the consumption of their organs, to hunger and desperation within the Khmer Rouge ranked. The Khmer Rouge regime dismantled modern society in Cambodia in their quest for agrarian Marxist utopia. So yes, I mean, it could be they were hungry, and there wasn't enough food for anybody. And I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit of story, a quick story. When my mom said that she used to sit in front of Pol Pot, and I asked my mom, Ma, was he starving? And she said no, he looks fat and healthy, which is, and I hate cussing, but that's what fucking happens under a communist regime. It's always the top that's well fed. And you can see this in Animal Farm on George Orwell's book. The pigs are the fattest and the most well fed one. So, yeah, really disturbing. And I'm sorry that I had to talk about this. And, I don't. But it's part of history. It's things that we have to talk about. We talk about it with the Holocaust, what Hitler did to the Jews, what Stalin did to the Ukrainians. Even they start eating themselves, their kids, their children. Even the government not the government, but even the communists, the Soviets told the Ukrainians, don't eat your fucking children. So that's really sad, and a part of the 20th century that we are all not educated about here in the United States of America. And we have to talk about these things. We have to talk about the atrocities of the communist regimes. We have to talk about the Khmer Rouge. We have to talk about the USSR. We have to talk about all that, because it's really scary that a lot of people are proud communists, not realizing that they can be disgusting and cannibalistic as the Nazis. Okay, well, I don't know if the Nazis ate humans. So, if you guys know about that, comment down below and link me that information, or any documentary about that. But really disgusting. So anyways, I do have a podcast called the Fire Wisdom Podcast. You guys can check all the information at faroutwisdom.podbean.com. You guys can see right there. My main theme is the Buddha smoking marijuana. And so here's all of my episode. It is available on YouTube, which I'm going to show you guys my YouTube channel. It's on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Deezer, Pandora, Amazon Music, any podcast players that you guys have. The Fire Wisdom is available on there as well. Make sure you guys subscribe and follow as well. And in this video, here's my YouTube channel, and this video that you guys are watching, make sure you hit that like button. It really helps a lot for people to find my content. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. I'm at 143 subscribers, so I'm really tiny. But majority of the time, on my particular YouTube channel, I really want to talk about the Khmer Rouge. That's what I'm focused on, is Cambodian, the dark history of the Cambodia between 1975 to 1979. But I do talk about other things like social issues and stuff here in the United States of America. So if you like that content, make sure you guys follow as well. And like I said, like, subscribe, do what you got to do, and follow the Fire Wisdom Podcast, where I pretty much explore the world, talking to far out people and stuff like that. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Okay, I know this was kind of a gut-wrenching, kind of nauseating kind of story, but it's a tragedy in the Cambodian people's history that I think should be exposed to the world. Thank you for watching, guys. Bye.